high school band to indie success and finally to intense radio airplay, these guys have paid their dues and are finally seeing results. Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton and welcome to WatchMojo.com. And today we're speaking with Young the Giant about their self-titled debut album.
Stop, the train is riding down to the station where you live.
So let's talk about the album. Do you want to tell us about the writing process, what you guys were going for, and what do you think you've achieved?
I mean, everyone's first record is always interesting because it encompasses many years of writing. For us, that was exactly the case. We had songs as old as Cough Syrup and Garens, which from when we were 17 and 16 years old, and then songs that ranged all the way up to right before we had finished recording, some of them completely last minute. We really wanted to have that sense of a live feel, so we recorded everything live, and we did it in a very old studio. We did it at Sunset Sound, where the Doors and the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin had recorded a lot of their records. At the same time, it was a huge learning experience for us. It was the first time we'd ever been into the studio. And so this next record, it's going to be very, very different, but in a good way, I think.
Let's talk about the concepts behind some of the singles. We'll start with My Body.
My Body was kind of written in the middle of the writing process. At that time, we had gotten ourselves in a bit of a writing rut. We'd been writing a lot of down-tempo, mid-tempo stuff, which isn't necessarily bad, but I think we were getting a little bored of it. And we were living in Hollywood at the time, and we were all living together, and we had a studio space upstairs in the loft, and we'd spend a couple hours that day, I remember, and we were very frustrated with the whole process. And we decided to try something completely different, and just try and do something that was almost a joke that we didn't think that we could pull off. And within 10 or 15 minutes, My Body was pretty much completely written, and ironically was the least touched of all the songs in the editing process. So it kind of really came from spontaneity and that frustration and overcoming that frustration. So, it's amazing to us that that song has lasted so long on radio and everything.
And what about Cough Syrup?
We try not to take ourselves too seriously and take a lot of writing style and influence from the Beatles and a lot of just how they created nonsensical lyrics that ended up meaning something to themselves and to other people. And so for that song, it was really, just screwing around. It was us trying to get bearings of, who we were as songwriters. It was trying to get out of suburbia at that time. We were in Orange County, and we were young, and we had not yet left for college, and we felt trapped there. I think it was about the last year that we could withstand living there, and I think that song is just about anyone trying to break free of things that they think are tying themselves down.
These zombies in the park, they're looking for my auto.
You guys started as a high school band, so presumably you guys have matured and evolved throughout your career. So do you want to tell us how?
Yeah, we first started when we were 16, and the music has evolved a lot since then. Ironically enough, Cough Syrup is one of our oldest songs. I was 17 and Eric was 16 when we wrote the song together. So it's weird to us now that it's on the radio and heavy in rotation, people thinking it's this year's music, but it's music from 5 or 6 years ago. We were excited for this next record because we've been writing a lot together, and we've grown a lot together, especially in these last 2 years as musicians and as individuals. And so I think people have yet to see the full maturation of the band, and hopefully they will soon.
The next album, why don't you tell us when might we expect that? Or
the next album should be out in spring of next year, hopefully. We've been doing a lot of writing. We had 2 or 3 months off at the end of last year, coming into the beginning of this year. We were living together in another house and did a lot of writing. All the sets we've been playing for this tour have included 3 new songs, and so we're incorporating new songs into the set, trying to see how people feel about them, and we're just excited to get back in the studio at the end of the year.